Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable for Entrepreneurs. 1 Million by 1 Million today is the first and only global virtual incubator and accelerator in the world. And our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue, build $1 trillion in global GDP and 10 million jobs. And I'm sure you all have heard about Y Combinator, which is one of the most high-profile accelerators out there. Y Combinator is a very, very exclusive program, and our philosophy, 1 Million by 1 Million's philosophy, is inclusive as opposed to exclusive. Y Combinator takes pride in how many companies apply to the program and how many companies they reject. We take pride in the fact that within our expertise domain, which is IT and IT-enabled services, we do not reject anybody. So it looks like some people are complaining that they're not hearing the audio. Or is anybody having difficulty hearing the audio in the audience? Could you please give me a read on the public chat so that I know if there's any technical issue? So your public chat needs to be set to send to all participants to be used in the public chat mode. Okay, good. All right, so it doesn't look like there's an issue. Those who have issues, Maureen will try to help you with WebEx support offline. Okay, this is our 216th mentoring session. So we've been doing this for a long time, and we have developed a fair bit of expertise and experience in this area, and have seen a lot of patterns, of what kinds of issues entrepreneurs are facing in different parts of the world, and to a large degree, the issues fall in a certain set of categories. So we are able to draw a lot of inferences based on just pattern matching. This event is being recorded. You will find a recording of the session available both on our blog as well as on the YouTube channel, and I will give you the address in a moment. Now, our Twitter channel is at 1M by 1M and at Sramana, and that's my personal account. You're welcome to follow either. We provide a lot of very rich content through Twitter, and it's mostly, content of two categories. One is educational content in the realm of entrepreneurship and technology, and the other is inspirational content, also through the journeys of entrepreneurs of how they have built their companies so that you can learn from them. And then there's miscellaneous industry analysis, trend analysis, and so forth. So it's not a lightweight range of content. It's stuff that is going to activate your brain cells quite significantly. Our account, our hashtag is 1M1M for this session. So if you're live tweeting the show, please add hashtag 1M1M with it. This is the YouTube channel, by the way, 1M1M Roundtables. You will find recordings of all prior sessions in here. You will also find a bunch of cute cartoons. You will find a bunch of, it's very entrepreneurial cartoons, by the way. Normal people will not find that funny, but entrepreneurs would. And then we also have a bunch of other kinds of things like FAQs, of the 1M1M program, the kinds of things that you tend to ask us. We've tried to capture everything and provide that to you in the YouTube channel. Now, I will put this slide back up later in the show. Hopefully we'll have time to take calls. But first and foremost, we're going to work with some slide presentations with entrepreneurs who have sent in their slides in advance. Now, just FYI, I am not monitoring the public chat while I'm working with the entrepreneurs. I will get back to monitoring my public chat when we get to the Q&A section of this presentation. So we will start with the Patrono pitch. Danny Nguyen from Los Angeles, California. Danny, are you on the call? Maureen, is Danny on the call?
I think I'm on mute.
Oh, you're on mute. Perfect. So when I call for you folks, please unmute your line. Meanwhile, keep the line muted because we see that when everybody from all over the world starts unmuting their lines at once, there's a lot of echo that streams into the call. So we'll start with Danny. Danny, yes, please unmute your line and tell us what you're working on.
Hi, good morning, Sramana and all attendees. My name is Danny Wynn. In Los Angeles, going to USC for Pharmacy and Business School. Working on a project called Patono. Patono is short for patient autonomy. So I came up with that name because I figured turn something into a verb, and if it's useful, people will use it. And so I put some of the social media platforms that we're currently on. Just we're looking at the first slide. So Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Google+. Currently creating a YouTube. And I also put my LinkedIn. There wasn't a more simple version, so we have all of these slashes and random numbers, but that's the best we have. So that's where we're at. Next slide, please.
I have moved it to the next slide.
Thank you. So the vision, what's Patono's vision? It's empowering patients to be at the epicenter of their own health. So what does that mean? It means autonomy for patients, and in order for patients to have autonomy, I think they need two things. They need, one, access to their medical record, and two, they need to understand what exactly is all this jargon on the medical record is. And when a patient has both the education and access, now they have access to more data. That's important because when you have access to more data about anything, whether it's yourself or some project you're working on, you make better decisions, make more informed decisions. And I think for something such as healthcare, that's important to yourself and to the people that you care about that are around you. And so people, I typically get the question, well, how is Patono different from WebMD? It's just all the information there, right? I think WebMD is it's actually the most popular resource right now. So on average, people American, I don't know what it is in other countries. I'd love to have the information just so, because I want this to be something available to the people from every country and every language. It's different because it's personalized. So when you go on WebMD as a U.S. citizen, as an American, you search, just say diabetes, because that's one of the top 5 most searched Google terms. It gives you a bunch of
I have one question here. Is this whole thing specifically focused on diabetes as a market, or is there, or are you using diabetes as a construct for representing a diverse class of diseases, or is it just diabetes?
Sure, yeah. Thank you for interrupting, because I just want to get through this PowerPoint so we can actually have a conversation. Yeah, so we chose diabetes is because, one, my grandma died from it, so that's one of the drivers. And I was in pharmacy school, but right now it's only diabetes. So anything that pertains to diabetes is something that we will address, even though there's a lot. But we're only focusing on diabetes. So it's also a construct, an example, but also in real life, that's what we're focusing on. Does that answer your question? Hello?
Yes, we're on the customer validation slide right now.
The customer validation, not the customer side? Oh, whatever. So yeah, customer validation.
You've already told us what you're trying to do, but so.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay,
I think here's my feedback so far. We need to move this a little bit faster.
Cool.
Diabetes care and apps to do with diabetes care and so forth has been a very active field. Are you aware of that?
Yep.
Have you done a competitive analysis of what else is going on, who's doing what in this field?
Oh, yeah. This is very strategic. This is not random. This is not, oh, my grandma died, and so let's go do diabetes. It's after going through business school, pharmacy school, researching all the competitors. I wouldn't say all.
Can we go to the competitive discussion?
Sure, let's go to discussion. Let's do it.
Is there a slide on competition?
Oh, no. I can talk about them if you like.
So yeah, so I think my main question as I'm listening to, I think there is no argument in anybody in this room today that diabetes is a problem and it's a global problem and it's something that people are, people need support to take care of. But because it is such an obvious problem domain, there has been a tremendous amount of entrepreneurial action in that field. So I'd like to understand your understanding of the competitive landscape and where do you position something unique and differentiated so that you have a chance at building a significant business today in 2014, the middle of 2014, with all this action in the industry. What is your strategy?
Yeah, so my strategy is, component strategy is it's focused on patients and so how is it different from all these other services? So I'll just name a couple. So there's all these blogs. The most famous one, most popular one with 4 unique million visitors every year is Diabetes Daily, the blog. So I think it has a social support factor. And then there's another company called Patients Like Me. They have 400,000 users. They're 14 years old. But the thing that I see missing in the marketplace right now is there aren't any sites that are personalized for patients, giving them relevant information very quickly while respecting their privacy that's also easy to understand. I don't see that. And if you do, please show me so I can stop what I'm doing because I don't see that. So how is Potomac positioning itself? Its positioning itself is very quick. It's not asking for you to sign up. You just put in 5 parameters, your age, sex, weight, height, ethnicity, and then have diabetes. That's the only thing we're doing right now. And then it generates a flow diagram of potentially what you could expect, what medications you could potentially be on, and how you would deal with some of these side effects. I don't see anything out there like that right now. Do you?
I don't know. I haven't done the comparative. This is not the product that I'm trying to build, so I'm not going to go do the comparative analysis. You need to do the comparative analysis. I just have a hard time believing that, we see so many healthcare apps all the time. And the App Store has so many millions of apps. I'm not convinced. But what you've said, Patients Like Me has been around for a long time. There are a few other things like that, but I just have a hard time believing that what you described is the complete picture of the competitive landscape. It looks to me like your competitive research is not thorough enough. That's number one. Second input is that you in the slide where you say how will it work, anonymously input data, age, sex, weight, height, ethnicity. Is that sufficient to do a personalized, health information about diabetes? That's 5 parameters that seem inadequate to me. There's more that is needed.
It is inadequate. Right. So it is inadequate. However, it's a start. And what people want is an answer very quickly, and then they want to personalize it because they don't want to be asked 25 questions before they get an answer. They want to say, hey, let's have this conversation. Let's not have you ask.
Yeah, but that is a chicken and the egg because, without blood tests results, how the hell do you provide any kind of personalized diabetes information? What you'll provide is completely inadequate and kind of toy stuff, which I don't think is very useful.
Sure. Yeah, no, I appreciate the feedback. It's very helpful.
So my suggestion to you at this point, what you've presented here seems very lightweight and not thoroughly researched. So you need to do a lot more homework. And by the way, I'm not saying this just to Danny. I'm saying this to all of you. The key is the homework. If you want to be taken seriously by customers, by investors, if you're seeking financing, by potential partners, the key is how thorough can you be and how much homework can you present? How can you present something deep, something differentiated, something that is meaty and weighty and doesn't feel lightweight, and this feels very lightweight to me.
Yeah, I don't like, I understand. We're not looking for venture capital funding.
It's not a question of funding. Remember I said investors if you're looking for funding, but what is the first constituency I said? Customers. Right. If you want customers to take you seriously, you need to give them something that is compelling and something that will make them want to engage with you.
Right, but
so then the other set of issues that we haven't even gotten to, but I'm going to need to move on to the next presenter because we have 5 people to work with. You have you say free, value proposition free, personalized, easy to understand, private, which means that you need millions of customers, you know, using, not customers, millions of users so that you can monetize with advertising, which again is a very expensive proposition to get to millions of users. And I haven't seen, you need to work on a customer acquisition strategy that can get you there without running out of money and without running out of runway.
Yeah, thank you.
Whatever resources you're working with, you know, advertising only works as a business model if you have millions of users.
Right, thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
So, by the way, folks, I just want to tell you one thing. Many of you here are here for the first time. This is a working session. It's a completely safe working session. You do not need to feel defensive. I will give you feedback that I believe you need to hear so that you can take it and work on it. You know, it's actionable feedback that hopefully you can work on it. It's not my intent at all to be gratuitously mean to you or anything. That's Shark Tank. That's not 1M. This is a working session. It's a safe working session where we can put our heads together, figure out what are the missing pieces, and figure out an action item so that you can take that back and do more homework on it. This is the whole intent and whole purpose of 1M. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Is Shailendra on the line now? Okay, we are going to Roy, it seems. Maureen is advising me to go to Roy next. Let's bring Roy up. Oof, that's a lot of slides. Okay, Roy, is this yours, SolarSys?
Yes, that's my slide.
All right, go ahead, Roy Joseph.
Good morning, Sramana, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to present over here. Actually, this is my first time presenting my slides to somebody. So what does SolarSys do? SolarSys actually takes advantage of the fragmented solar market to provide a low-cost solution for residential solar. Basically, we do that by providing a unique online design and bidding platform, by supporting it by a good, efficient back-end supply chain, and significantly we reduce the cost of ownership and cycle time to getting an affordable solar on top of people's roof. Next slide, please. So about me, I founded SolarSys in 2011 in Houston, Texas, and I had grown their business up to 400K in revenues while I was doing this, while I was still working with a company. So a couple of months back, I left the job to focus full-time on SolarSys, and currently we are at a rate of growing to 600K for this year.
And that's great. By the way, folks, this is an example of what we call bootstrapping with a paycheck, and this is a real trend, definitely in America, but other parts of the world as well, where people are building companies on the side and getting it to a certain level of validation and traction, and when they feel comfortable, then they're leaving their job. As Roy is explaining to you, he has done this and done this successfully. So it's not easy to do, but it's also actually gives you some resources from your job to be able to do this in parallel. It takes a bit more time, but I think it's a perfectly fine strategy to bootstrap your company and get it off the ground. So congratulations again, Roy.
Thank you. So basically, I've done my master's in electrical and engineering and technology project management. So I was actually, in fact, studying also at the same time. So that's part of the next. So what we did do is we procure, warehouse, and deliver just about any kind of solar energy systems. That includes solar panels, solar racking system, inverters, and other components related to solar energy systems. So we are BBB certified for 3 years on in 2011. There are a bunch of quotes from a bunch of prominent people. In fact, even President Obama's statement said we need to ramp up solar energy as it becomes to bring down global emissions because it reduces global warming.
quotes. I'm more interested in what you have done. So in this first three lines, what do you do? Tell me more about what do you do?
So we basically design and sell solar energy systems. So that includes procurement, design, and installation services. So we don't do any installation services as of now. We only design and provide services. What we do with homeowners is we bring them together with installers and connect them with installers and buy the product directly from us. So their cost is actually significantly lower than if they go to to an installer. And so I'm going to come to that slide. So this is industry snapshot. Basically, it's 15% that's dropping. More than 100,000 installations. Price of solar panels have declined by 60% since 2011. The growth is being accelerated going to be accelerated in the next upcoming years. You can see the price has dropped from $6 a watt, which equates to in 2011 at 30,000 to today at $17,500. Next slide, please. So that's the growth sector. You can see the installation, which is growing over a period from 2010 to 2013, which has significant growth in. So that's my team, me and my other person over here. She works with me along over here. Next slide, please. So the current situation is we have installers. There are multiple installers in major cities. Most of these installers are new because solar is actually predominantly a new phenomenon in the country, and so these people are small and inexperienced, and they require an efficient supply chain system that includes design teams, they need products, and so we become the back offices for them. So that's where we come into play. For the end customers, basically they don't know anything about solar, and it's based on home size and building technology and all roof architecture. Again, that's where we come into play because we provide the design and we do all this other requirements to provide the customer the product. Hardware suppliers, huge number of suppliers. Nobody knows what to buy. So again, we come in with our experience to provide these information to these people. Next slide, please. So as the opportunities become more open to people and solar becomes more pervasive into the mainstream, what happens is electrical contractors, home remodelers, roofers, and home builders, all these people would want to install solar on top of everybody's roof. But they would want to buy from a supplier who has design experience, who knows how to get the product and supply them without the hassle of inventory, warehousing personnel, etc. And that's where we become the back offices for all these contractors and remodelers and roofers. For residential customers who we supply right now, they want to install solar without going directly to an electrical contractor or a installer. So they want to install solar using. That's where our new platform comes into play, where they will be able to purchase a system and find an installer with a click of a button at their convenience in their homes without going and getting installers knocking at their door or calling somebody and all that. That is the opportunity which is existing right now. Next slide, please. So right now, we are creating an internet-based Dell.com style system. That's basically what the Dell.com of the 90s, what they brought everything together and provided customization and all these other documents. And so we take advantage of the fragmented ecosystem right now by providing the contacts for procurement, for design, for installation, for a homeowner especially. And so this actually reduces the total cost of the system, and it gets the solar system installed on top of people's roof in a matter of weeks rather than months. So we have two business models.
The way this works, you are managing the whole interface with the residential consumer, and then you have a whole bunch of relationships in the back end with providers who are installers, manufacturers, and so forth, and you're putting all this stuff together. You don't own any inventory. You're basically kind of bringing everything together and providing sort of like a custom solution. Is that correct?
No, that's not. We have inventory. That's where we are able to reduce costs for the homeowners and installers. We stock inventory over here for solar panels, inverters, racking system. We have it in our warehouse over here. We stock it, and that's where we get the advantage over here. There are many companies right now in the market which do what we do, but they don't stock the product. All what they do is they bring in installers and they bring in homeowners and they connect these two people. That's basically a lead generating type of company, which does what we do is we procure products, we keep it, we purchase it at bulk pricing, and then we do the design over here using different softwares. And once we do the design using different softwares, we can easily actually tell a homeowner this is what the cost is going to go, and then there's a platform which we are developing right now. It's in the process of building right now. We actually developed the scope and all that stuff. Till now, I was connecting it by phone. Basically, I know a bunch of installers here and there, and I connect them by a phone and say, hey, this is a good guy to go to. Now we are trying to bring it on a platform for every city. Basically, right now, we're trying to do in Texas for Austin, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, and then maybe take it off to the nationwide. That is for the residential customers because we can offer it at a very good price to these people. Installers, on the other hand, when new installers come into, again, they need products. They want somebody to supply them at a good price, so they don't need to keep anything in stock, so they can buy it directly from us. And manufacturers will not provide simply to, before back in when I started, manufacturers would give to everybody all the any kind of distributor relationship because they wanted to sell. Now they don't give it to anybody like that because the industry is growing. They already have established contacts. They want to continue to keep establishing that. So installers now rely on either big distributors or small or people like us. So these are we break it down with the business.
Roy, I think we understand the business. I'm gonna have to move you along a little bit because I have 3 more people to work with.
Okay, so that's the install. This is how the system works. So we get the agent, we gather requirements, we do the design, and all that. So this is this one is the model which I explained. This is the process how we are going to do residential model. So what our goals and objectives are: increase revenue from $400K to $2 million, increase net profitability from 8% to 15%, employee count to 4 to 7%. And objectives are to roll out the platform in August 2014, which is mainly Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, and other Texas markets, get at least 20 to 30 systems, and prepare, work the things out on the platform so take it nationwide by mid-2015. That's the objective of us right now.
And how are you financing inventory to do this volume of business? How much inventory do you need to buy?
I have right now $100,000 of inventory in my warehouse right now. I have for the last 2 to 3 years I've got loans from lines of credit and loans and established credits from suppliers. So I think I've been able to secure those for some time, and then we have constant rolling out of these products. So yeah.
So that model is going to sustain you through the kinds of revenue targets you're setting for yourself. You can do this with that model.
You cannot. I think the line's breaking up. Can you repeat that again, please?
I was saying, so if anybody is on the line who's dialed in and your line is actually not muted, please mute the line so that there's no echo and disturbance in the call. So Roy, what I was saying is the model that you've established with supplier credit, that will give you enough inventory with which to get to the revenue levels that you are suggesting here?
Yes. Actually, it's not so hard right now to get it to $2 million. If I have 2 or 3 more salespeople involved, I can easily get the revenue because with me, myself, and the other person, I've been able to get it to $420,000. So now, but then we have to increase profitability. There's a lot of other things which we have to take care of. So what is our competitive advantage is we pay only $8,500 for 2,700 square feet over in Houston. So it's a good place to stock products. Also, we know liquidators and auction houses who sell out large quantity of solar panels because some projects fail and so they just want to clear it out. And so we buy those top quality panels for a very low price. And then we piecemeal it and supply it to everybody. So we have lines of established in the next 30 days. These are 2 examples. And we are the only person which are going to provide the complete system in the ecosystem, which is end customers, installers, hardware, and design services. I will explain that in the next slide. So basically, existing solar solutions is there are parts only and there's design, no design. So in parts only, there is a bunch of companies who does that with no design. but they will do it with a design, all number one. So there's two other people who provide basically lead generators. They do the design and they get installers involved and they do that. We are the only one who provides design, parts, and installation at this point of time for a residential customer. And that's possible by the simplified solar platform which we are creating. So the pricing model, what happens is by using our model, when we do that, we'll be able to reduce the cost to $2.70 to $2.95, whereas other people who are not using that piecemeal services, when they buy from other people, the cost is around $3.25 to $4.50, which equates to. So that's the residential pricing advantage. So what are the barriers to entry? These are for new level competitors, is established relationship with big manufacturers and distributors, technical know-how, the goodwill value, which we have 3 years of establishment, website and platform development, which we are doing right now. So nobody has it right now, the age of the domain, and then basically capital close to 100 to 500K, which is to secure good pricing on products. And then we have some patents, which we are trying to figure out on the platform where you're developing. So that makes us to other people. Next slide, please. Yeah, these are our different products, solar panels. Next slide. So this is our, I don't know, it doesn't show up over there. So in 2011, we had 6. In 2012, we had 20. In 2013, we have 27 customers. In 2014, we estimated to have 35 customers. And by 2015, by all this platform, we'll expect to have a lot more customers, including residential. This is residential and installers. This is our financial projections for the last 3 years, which we have 420 we did in 2013. In 12, we did 374. In 2011, we had 136. In this year, we estimated to do 600K. I think we might exceed that. And then 2015, 2016 is all estimated targets to $2 million by 2017.
Okay.
The next slide is, okay, this is breakdown for 2015, basically how we end up, how we attain $700,000 in 2015 by showing how many systems. And this is our success stories by different, some of them are installers, some of them are, so the capital requested is $250K for a 15% stake in the company, and basically the use of proceeds, our marketing is 15%, hire employees, founder salary, and file patents and develop further growth strategies.
So technically, the professional angel investors don't invest in services and installation companies, but I do know people who would. I know people who are doing exactly this business in other markets. Like I have a friend who is an investor and actually, kind of operationally runs partially a similar kind of company in Hawaii. So I know that there are people who are doing just this business, the solar installation business or solar solutions business, and you could potentially talk to those kinds of people. Now it's not easy to find these people except through professional through personal relationships. Do you know people in your community who know you and who are interested in funding something like this, or are you looking for a way of getting connected into this community?
Houston is not a big market for solar. People still don't understand what solar is and what solar's advantage is. But there's a big market in Austin. But I'm trying to work with angel investors right now at the Houston Angel
investors. Like if you go to the Austin angel investor community, they're not going to invest in this.
Why would they not invest?
Because this, they typically do not invest in services companies. They're looking for intellectual property heavy companies that are, mostly stuff that are going to get them, say, 10x return at a hyper growth pace, and that they're going to raise, they're going to put in some amount of money, and then they're going to get more money from venture capitalists and build high growth companies that they can get 10x return on. They're not looking to build a company that in 2017 gets to just $2 million. So it's a slow growth company effectively. So the kinds of investors you're looking for are more, a different kind of investor, completely different breed of investors.
So if you don't mind me asking, So, but we are basically moving from a product service company to a technology company because we're using the platform over here to develop the whole thing, using a bidding platform where people bring in everything together. So actually nobody does that because they all do it in a piecemeal by services.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a long conversation. What gets financed, how it gets financed, what are investors looking for? We teach all of this stuff in our program. I can't spend more time teaching you that in this session because it's a much longer discussion. I'll need several hours to teach you all the pieces of why and why not and who and but this is stuff we do at 1M1M. That's why we have founded 1M1M, is to find the right financing strategy and go to the right investors who are likely to fund you. And I'm saying that it is not that there aren't investors who do these deals. It's not the typical technology angel community does not do this.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
There's a way to do this. Like, if you frame it more in the direction of like Sanjivity, for instance, that is fundable.
Okay, I got it. Actually, Sanjivity, we did a research, we did an understanding of Sanjivity. What Sanjivity does is they just get the project and they do the design and they find installers to do the work. And so that's the difference between, but we bring in all these things together on a platform. Sanjivity doesn't do that. So, yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying, that if you frame it more like an internet business and present it more like an internet business, and you can show the backup numbers to show that kind of hyper growth. Right now, the numbers that you've shown me, for an investor, is not exciting at all.
Yeah, the fact is that numbers are very conservative. From my approach, it is being very conservative, not showing. I know I can increase those numbers.
You cannot convince investors to support those numbers. You're going to have to come up with a strategy and a business plan that is going to excite investors. Otherwise, you will not be able to raise money.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Okay, we're going to thank you, Roy. We're going to move to Tapesh Goyal in Bangalore, building ecosystem integration products for storage ISVs, Vital Labs. Tapesh, if you could unmute your line.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So thanks, Sramana, to provide this great platform for early stage entrepreneurs to give the good feedback and your philosophy about inclusiveness and the bootstrapping is really which I'm looking forward and to get some feedback on that. So to give you my background, actually I came from a small town in Rajasthan, and after my graduation in 2003 I moved to Bangalore, and I worked for some of the good companies like Oracle, and major of my career I spent in a NetApp. In last September 2012, actually I quit NetApp and I started this company Vital Labs. And what the problem which we are planning to solve and trying to solve, what we find it out in a storage domain, there are top 5 or 6 players like NetApp, EMC, HP, IBM, Dell, Hitachi. They have actually around a good product line in a storage management and application integration space. Like you have a storage appliance, and apart from to convert the storage as a solution in a data center, you need a deep integration with lot of applications like SQL, Exchange, SharePoint, VMware, OpenStack, CloudStack, Hyper-V, then maybe new applications like Hadoop or SAP HANA, or there are a lot of applications which you need an integration with the storage to work storage as a more better solution for the end customer. And what we find it out, these 5-6 top players are having a lot of these kind of integration products and all these product lines to be competitive in the market. Then we find it out I was more of a lead engineer in one of their Snap Manager product line in a NetApp, And what the problem we find it out is like there are almost 300 to 400 more storage mid-size and the startups in the market, and almost every year there are 60 to 70 new storage startups comes in. Can you go to next slide, please? So yeah, this I have given the overview, like what we are doing is like application integration products, VMware plugins, Hyper-V integrations, OpenStack Zen Center integrations, and all other application integrations. So that was a problem we were trying to solve for other storage and mid-size storage companies. Next slide, please. Yeah, so what we find it out is like there are almost 60 to 70 new storage companies comes in every year based on the new technology, like the flash and software defined storage is very hot nowadays. So the most of companies are coming with the hybrid storage or the flash storage based appliance, or there are some other actually other value proposition which are coming like QoS into a storage. So there are some value proposition many storage companies are coming in, but what they actually lack in their storage is solutioning part. Like they do not have a very good storage management and application integration products in their product lines. So what we build is like we say like, okay, we have these product lines, we have a capability to develop these product lines, and we can develop for you as a outsourced product development business model, or like even we have started developing our own of these products which would be ready to integrate with any of these storage. So these are the market right now we are targeting. Our go-to-market strategy right now is like mostly like for my email marketing or a website and some blogs, and now we are actually, when we are trying to scale up, we are thinking of a...
I'm going to stop for a second. Do you have clients?
Yeah, so the next slide is this.
Let's talk about clients. What kind of clients do you have, and you know, what are the deal sizes? What are you doing for them? Give me a bit more granular insight into what is the client situation right now.
Okay, so this like slide shows like we are working with the 3 clients right now, which are like well-known. Couple of them are well-known in the Silicon Valley, like Nexenta, Atlantis Computing. Cloudbyte is a like Indian company, storage company funded by Nexus Ventures. So these are the primary 3 clients we are working with right now. We are in talk with many other people like Nimbus Data, Data Gravity. We are in talk.
Let me try to understand, what do you do with the Nexenta, for instance? Do you do outsourced product development? Do you do integration plugins? Do you do services? What do you do for Nexenta?
Okay, so like for an Nexenta, we have our own product like a vCenter plugin, which is a like a plugin to a vSphere, and which manages the storage management. Like you do a whole storage management through that plugin, which is extension of a vCenter plugin. So we have actually OEM our plugin to Nexenta, and right now we are in process to actually integrating with their storage array, and maybe in a couple of weeks time it will be out in the market.
And what are the terms of the OEM deal?
What is the?
What are the terms?
OEM deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Terms right now we have kept it very simple because the Nexenta was a big client for us at this point. So like we are taking like a one-time fee for like around 30K USD for that plugin for a version 1. Then we have a like support contract with them, which if they need a like any support services, we will actually charge extra, and for a next version also we will charge extra. So for a version 1 vCenter plugin OEM, we are charging like a one-time fee with them.
And there is no royalty on, so if it's an OEM deal, the typical OEM deals have royalty attached to them. You don't have any royalty for this?
Not right now. Like we have not. Yeah, means we know that like there may be a good business model for a royalty, but we wanted like because this was the first OEM deal with the Nexenta kind of company, so
no,
we wanted to
an
make
OEM deal. What you've done is not an OEM deal. If you've just sold this product for $30,000, that's not an OEM deal.
But like the IP is ours, we are doing the joint branding, and we are not providing them source code, so the IP is ours in the deal. We can sell it to many people. This is the kind of
but you've kind of sold it to them, but you haven't negotiated an OEM deal. You've given them unlimited rights to resell this product without getting anything out of it. That is not the way to negotiate an OEM deal.
Yeah, I understand that, but I was not sure at that point of time like I should go for that kind of complex deal, or I should make it more simple.
I mean, this is how you should be negotiating OEM deals. OEM by definition needs to be something where you get royalties. You get maybe a small upfront fee, and then you also get $30,000 is not that much, right? Okay,
yeah, so maybe we need some help. Yeah.
But if you're going to do an OEM business model, you need to negotiate them right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's we were not very sure right now. Like the two things is, one is like either we should continue as a OPD kind of outlet, or like we should start developing our own product. Is this two-way, like, because like whatever the OPD business we are getting it, we are funding this to our product development. So this two-way is the correct way or not, or like we should go for a full-fledged funding, or we should continue in that way. So
right now, based on what you've presented, you're not fundable. But you need to figure out a story that is a fundable story. If you have any desire to ever get funded, then you need to build a story that is a fundable story. And you need to learn how to do that. What you've presented so far is not a fundable story. But obviously you have expertise. Seems like you have quite a lot of depth in the storage area. Now you need to understand the business side of it so that you can package all that expertise into something, a product or a service that can, get you to a more mature stage as a business. Right now it looks like you're a group of technologists with a lot of depth in technology, but you don't really know how to package that into a business.
Correct.
Right? So that's something. That's perfectly okay. We are very happy to work with technology entrepreneurs, because I actually believe that while you cannot teach engineering to business people, in later stages of their careers, you can teach business to engineers. Engineers typically are smart people, and business is learnable. So I am very confident that we can teach you what you need to learn to package yourselves up into a viable business. Fundable or not, we'll figure out as we work on it, but it's something that I'm sure we can package it up into a viable business.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not very much, because like till now my operations are quite okay. I'm able to run my operation. We made like around 200K last year, and this year we are maybe try to reach around 500K with the OPD and whatever the OEM model or OEM deals we are having it. I mean, like, operationally we are okay at this point. Whatever the team I am having, I am quite comfortably able to run them and scale it out in a bootstrapping way also slowly. But
that's fine.
Yeah, advice.
If you want to just keep it that way and keep growing that way, that's a perfectly fine thing. If that makes you feel comfortable and happy, that's perfectly acceptable. There is no pressure to do something that you don't feel comfortable with.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like couple of advice maybe I need is like one is the overall advice on like is this the right way we are going on a should we how the companies will look like, should we develop our own product continue or create IP or not, first of all?
Well, the question is what is that IP and what is the opportunity for that product? Whatever ideas you have in terms of products, you need to analyze those product ideas and check their viability, their, you know, what is the product viability or IP's viability in the open market. And if it is a viable product, or, I mean, bootstrapping using services is a strategy that we use constantly in 1M1M. So if that's the direction you want to go, we know exactly how to advise you. And we have the entire methodology of helping you do exactly that. And if it's something that you want to pursue, feel free to join the program and we'll take you through that process. But there is a methodology of figuring those things out. It is, you know, frankly, people think that entrepreneurship is all kind of, you know, voodoo. Entrepreneurship is not voodoo at all. There is very systematic methodology that we follow in putting one step before the other to answer these questions. And the only thing I will tell you is that I would rather you follow proven methodology than just futz around and waste your time and money.
Sure. Okay.
So
thanks.
So hold on. I'm going to talk about how we work in 1M later on in the program. Let me finish working with the others. Amit Singh Pal is next. So
hi.
Your line, please, and Amit, unmute yours.
Hi, Sramana. Do you listen?
Yes,
Hello.
we can hear you. Amit, where are you dialing from?
I'm dialing from Delhi.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if my screen is visible or not. Is it visible there?
We can see your
Hello?
slides. Sure.
Yeah. So Sramana, I'm a student of Delhi University this time. Okay, and I'm doing my master's from here in international business. So I have completed my engineering before this in 2011, and then I went for an MNC. I worked in an MNC for 2 years. So while working in MNC and when I came here, I thought that from India, around 15 lakhs of the engineers, 15 lakhs engineers we produce every year. And out of those 15 lakhs engineers, around 1.5 million, 1.6 million, only 0.5 or 0.6 million are able to, I mean, most of them are not able to get the job. And why they are not able to get the job, it's because the quality of education provided by our institutes and the competitiveness, the level of competitiveness in our education system. It's not as par with the American system or the European system. See, the guy who developed Oracle, the guy who developed Facebook, the guy who developed the Microsoft, all of them are college dropouts. And even our guys, the best guys which are produced from the IITs, as we believe. So even our best guys are, I mean, they're very hungry to go to. I mean, they're very eager to join these companies. So there's a difference there that even their dropouts are better than our passouts. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to change this environment that in India, there's a lot of potential everyone knows in India. So we are trying to give them a platform to our engineers so that they can develop more and more startups. And we can eliminate unemployment from our country, because we believe if one person starts something like some startup and he can engage one more person.
Let me try to understand what you're saying here, the logic of what you're trying to say. These are engineers who are not sufficiently trained to find jobs. And
kind of this, because our.
Can you let me finish? If you talk over me, then people neither hear you nor me.
Okay, sorry.
So the question is, are you trying to say that all these people who cannot find jobs should be starting their own companies? Is that your premise?
No. My point is that our engineers have sufficient potential, but they need a guidance so that they can achieve something. I mean, CEO of Microsoft is an Indian, and the big positions are held by some Indians. But the thing is that they think they cannot do establish by themselves. They need some kind of engine to motivate them, to guide them. They need someone to guide them. So we are going there and we are providing them the resources. We are giving them a right path so that they can, they can recognize the potential inside them. That's what I need to say.
What are you trying to do? Are these people, are you going to try to help them become employable, or are you trying to help them to learn how to start a company? What are you trying to do?
Basically, I need to fill this gap. Why the people are not able to get a job, because they are not as technically trained as not. And the second, if you cannot get a job, how can you think that you're going to start something of yours? So
I think it would be a very broad assumption to you were kind of going a bit all over the place in your pitch. So I think we are having trouble understanding what is it that you're proposing. So are you proposing that you are going to take these engineering graduates that are not able to find jobs and help them get further engineering training, technical training?
No.
Unemployable.
We are going to boost them. We are going to tell them that they can do, and simultaneously we will provide them training. As I some guys are with us who are already, they have worked with some US companies, and one has completed his master's from UK, and the other lady, she has already 20 plus years work with her. So we can teach these guys to how to tackle all these things, the technical things which are not taught in engineering, and which will be taught after 2-3 years if they go into a job. Okay, and our education system is not that competitive as, you can see the Tumblr, it was developed by a 20-year guy in US, but why not by an Indian? So that's what we are going to tell them. If they know these things, we are going to tell them.
Telling people that you can do something is not enough. That's not enough to build a business. You're going to need to build the meat of a business, of how you deliver training, how you deliver value, and especially if you expect people to pay you for whatever training you are going to, put them through. That needs to be very concrete. And this is kind of too vague. What you're presenting here is way too vague.
Yeah, I can understand that, because I just prepared very.
Somebody to give you $60,000 for something.
No, it's not. It's not $60,000. It was 67 rupees. Even not $60,000.
Not a penny. No one will give you a penny for something this vague. Your dad may, or your uncle may, but that's it.
Okay.
So, and if I were advising your dad or your uncle, I would say don't give you 60,000 rupees, because you haven't fleshed out your idea.
Okay.
First thing first, you need to learn how to build a business.
Sorry?
First thing, you need to learn how to build a business, how to frame a business.
Okay.
You're kind of doing some very vague slideware which doesn't really hang together yet. You need to do a lot more homework, a lot more fleshing out, a lot more detailing of what is it that you want to do.
Yeah, we are presently in the researching what services we need to provide, and
this is something. The presentation is something I cannot do anything with.
Okay.
This is not even expansion. You're not ready to start.
No. I have already mentioned that we are presently in the research. We are doing the research, basic general research. The first is the literature review research. Then we are going to competitors. We found 1 or 2 competitors. They are doing the same thing, almost the same thing. One guy is I am pass out, and so we are going to study their business. And
you need to do your homework, and why don't you hang on? I will explain how 1M works with entrepreneurs in a little bit. And if you decide that you want real guidance, you can join the program and follow the methodology of the program. And I think you will find it very useful to have structure around your thought process. Otherwise, you're going to futz around and waste a lot of time.
So I can listen as an attendee also.
Absolutely, absolutely. Maureen will switch you to an attendee right away. Okay, so we're going to move. We're going to talk about 1M in a moment, but I would like to. I promised that we're going to talk about one of the unicorn companies, FireEye, in this session. Now, why are we discussing unicorn companies? So first and foremost, do you guys all know what unicorn companies are? I have my public chat open, so you can answer if you like in the public chat. Do you guys know what unicorn companies are? Yeah? So basically, unicorn companies are a bunch of billion-dollar companies that an analyst called Arlene Lee had written an article on TechCrunch about, and she took a bunch of companies that were founded in the 2003-2004 time frame and have all had billion-dollar plus exits, either IPO or acquisition, whatever. And she went and analyzed a bunch of these companies and made a list of these companies and provided some insights into what are the commonalities, what are the differences in those companies. Now, it so happens that many of these companies have been through our, the 1 million by 1 million entrepreneur journeys series. So, we publish an entrepreneur journeys series that has also produced 8 books at this point, and many of these entrepreneurs have been through our entrepreneur journeys series relatively early on in their evolution. So we know a lot about how these companies were founded, what was going on in the heads of these entrepreneurs early on, and so on and so forth. So what we're doing right now in the Unicorn series is going and taking a look at the early stages and the founding stages of those companies and kind of trying to learn what we can learn out of those. So if you go to the blog, you will see there's an article called Starting Unicorn Companies. One piece I've written is about Tableau, and the second one is about FireEye. And last week at the Roundtable, we discussed Tableau. If you want to listen to that, please go ahead and check out the recording of that one. And here's FireEye. Now, FireEye was founded by a Pakistani entrepreneur who did all his technical engineering degree at MIT, which is my alma mater. And he has very deep domain expertise in the fields of networking, and primarily in the field of networking, but the point at which this company was getting started. So the company went public in 2013, last September. However, it was founded 9 years before. So 2004 is when the company was actually founded. And at that time, he thought the whole notion of threat detection and intrusion detection could use principles from 3 different major domains of technology, spanning networking, security, and virtualization, which was starting to come into the picture and become significant at the time. Today, virtualization is an established field, but in 2004, it was not as established a field. So in a sense, he brought expertise and best practices and thought processes, engineering prowess from these 3 different fields and did what we call a cross-domain innovation addressing the threat prevention and intrusion detection problem. And that company raised more than $85 million in venture capital and eventually went public, and today trades at about, I think, the current market cap is over $3 billion. Now, contrary to our concept of lean startups, which is primarily what we practice in 1M, we don't actually, if you come to me and say, I need to raise $85 million before I'm going to be able to do anything in terms of revenues and results and so forth, I would say our methodology is not where you will find great guidance on that. However, the reason I wanted to bring this up is that this is a reality. There are certain types of businesses where if you want to do very serious technology development with cross-domain innovation actually allows you to do very defensible products. And all that requires engineers, that costs a lot of money, and that kind of what we call fat startups are very difficult to finance. So if you go to this this particular case study, you will see that I reference, and the link is on your public chat screen. Maureen has put the link on the screen. You could go to that link and see there is an article that I have referenced called How to Fund Fat Startups. And if you are considering something in that general direction, it is an article I strongly recommend you read. And typically, fat startups are fundable if you are an experienced entrepreneur. If you're a first-time entrepreneur trying to do a fat startup, and if you predicate your success on raising lots of money, this is going to be very, very difficult. The only other way to do fat startup as a first-time entrepreneur is bootstrapping using services. That is viable. So those of you who are, using bootstrapping and using services to, get cash and get close to customers and so forth, and in the process, in parallel, build IP and build technology, this is a strategy that will work in building a fat startup as well. So these are some of my thoughts. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask on this or any other topic. We will have time for Q&A. Now, folks, if you like what we are doing in 1M1M, we very humbly request you to refer other serious entrepreneurs into the program, because we need serious entrepreneurs to accomplish our mission. We need serious entrepreneurs to be working with us. So let me run you through what is the methodology of 1M1M. So everything starts at 1mby1m.com. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in annual revenue and beyond, build $1 trillion in global GDP and 10 million jobs. We have a blog that is free and that is chock full of very, hardcore educational, inspirational, trend analysis material that will help you become more knowledgeable about whatever it is that you're trying to do. We only work, by the way, in IT and IT-enabled services. Then we have a book series, the Entrepreneur Journeys book series, which we have produced 8 books out of Entrepreneur Journeys. And this has, all of them are available on Kindle, actually. All the digital versions are available on Kindle. And then some of them, the first 4 actually are available as paper books as well from Amazon. We have pretty much switched to Kindle books at this point. Then we have, so this is what the site looks like. You have a lot of featured videos that will, teach you, give you the FAQs about 1M1M. These roundtables, these free roundtables happen every Thursday morning. So we have one more in May, and then we have, roundtables every week in June. So if you'd like to book your slot and have a discussion like we're having today with several entrepreneurs, you're very welcome to do that on the website. The free public roundtable page is going to give you all the registration information. Then we have the premium program, which is a $1,000 annual membership fee for extensive methodology guidance, a full curriculum. We help you with business development, introductions to customers, channel partners, investors, media, analysts, advisors, a vast Rolodex. We do strategy consulting, like what you saw got a little bit of a flavor of, but we do these in private members-only sessions. And then we also help with raising money and with getting coverage for your companies, both of which are extremely complicated affairs. The $1 Million Club on the website is where you will meet some of our success stories. We have an ROI analysis of the program also on the homepage, where we show you how we provide value. So we provide $375,000 worth of value, plus 5 to 10% equity for a $1,000 annual membership. So it's a tremendously powerful ROI equation. And I strongly encourage you to take advantage of it, and rather than fussing around, if you follow the methodology, the chances of your success is significantly higher. How to use 1M1M effectively? We provide you lots of orientation material. The self-assessment is something that you will find on the website. Ask yourselves these questions. remember, even if you're not raising money from outside investors, you are an investor in your own company. You are investing your time, your energy, your opportunity, cost into the company that you're building. And you must calibrate yourself in professional ways so that you figure out how to grow your business. And these are the kinds of questions that will help you pin those issues down. And if you're a premium member, we provide you with all the curriculum modules that are attached to each of those questions to fill your knowledge gaps. We fully understand that everybody has knowledge gaps. Why not? Of course you have knowledge gaps. You haven't done this before, most likely. Most likely this is the first time, this is your maiden voyage into the entrepreneurial waters, and these waters are stormy waters. So you want to understand, you want to learn from people who have done it before, and we have hundreds of serious successful entrepreneurs who are part of this program, who have been sharing their journeys and their teachings and what they have learned in their journey to help you avoid mistakes and basically copy other people's strategies that have worked. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. So there's lots of material on the site that will help you explore the premium program, including video FAQs. So the way we teach the curriculum is through case studies and video lectures. And we have over 600 important, successful entrepreneurs who have come and delivered their case studies and their lessons here. We have stitched all this up into a curriculum that covers 7 core topics: bootstrapping, positioning, market sizing, customer validation, financing, customer acquisition, and team building. And on the elective side, we have Web 3.0 and e-commerce, cloud computing and business solutions, outsourcing and consulting, mobile and social apps, healthcare IT, online education, and gaming. It is like a mini MBA in IT and IT-enabled services entrepreneurship for a $1,000 annual membership fee. And it's a lot more than an MBA because we have all these connecting of the dots. We can introduce you, we help you raise money if that's the direction you need to go. There's all kinds of value here which are really powerful and really practical. Effective, actionable, practical. Those are the buzzwords. Our methodology is lean, capital efficient, bootstrap startups. So as I mentioned when we were discussing FireEye, if your startup is a very fat startup, we are not the best place for you because our methodology does not support raising $85 million. You can raise $85 million even with our methodology if you can bootstrap the early stages. For example, the Tableau case study that we discussed last week actually was more of a lean startup methodology. These guys were very lean and they got to $5 million in revenue, actually 200 customers, not $5 million, 200 customers before they raised money. As a result, they raised their first round of financing at a pre-money valuation of $20 million, which is a very high pre-money valuation. So that strategy we can completely help you with. But if out of the gate, without doing anything, you need $5 million, $10 million, that is going to be hard to sustain with our methodology. And it's very hard to sustain, period, these days. Then as I said, we also help you get coverage. So if you go to the press link on the website, there's coverage of premium members. We have a lot of clout in the media, and it's very difficult for small early stage companies to get any coverage in the media. And we try to mitigate that gap by using our clout in the media and getting you coverage. So we do, if you go to the site, you will see there's tons of coverage that we have generated for our members. We also let you use our social media channel, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, our blog. Everything has quite large footprints, and we let you use these channels to get your message out there. Somebody is asking, are these events weekly? Yes. Every Thursday morning we have public roundtables, and every Wednesday morning we have private roundtables, which are for our premium members only. We also have an affiliate program, so if you're interested in becoming an affiliate partner of the 1M1M program, you can do that. Every Thursday, so May, June, all the way to the end of June, we have free roundtables every week. After that, the July 4th week we are off, but after that we'll come back again in July and do pretty much roundtables every week in July as well, except for the 4th of July holiday. Vision India 2020 is an ideation book. Those of you who are looking for an idea to work on, this could be an interesting book for you to take a look at. We also have an incubator in a box program, which a lot of partners are using to start their own incubators or augment their own incubation capabilities. So we have a bunch of corporate partners that we are working with: Oracle, SAP, Microsoft/Nokia, blah, blah, blah. Then these are a bunch of books that I mentioned. These are the 4 more recent books. And now we are ready for Q&A, so you're welcome to call in. I see questions in the public chat. I will start answering questions from the public chat, so you're welcome to put in your questions in public chat as well. If you would like to call in, just follow these instructions on the screen. So Ethan Slotkin asks, are these events weekly? Yes, the events are weekly. Do you send out a link via email on a weekly basis? We do send out roundtable registrations, roundtable announcements, but you do need to register for the roundtable to receive the join link. Am I correct, Maureen, in summarizing that? Maureen is the expert on that. Maureen produces all the roundtables, and she sends out all the links and everything, but you do need to register for the roundtables to receive the join links. Our email subscription list is huge. We have 150,000 subscribers on our email list, so we don't bother everybody by sending them the join links every week, but those who express a desire to participate get them through email, absolutely. Tapesh Goyal is asking, would we get a chance to work one-on-one with you in premium program? Yeah, absolutely. So the roundtable, just like you got to work one-on-one with me here, we follow the exact same format, but it's members only in the premium program. So you use the curriculum to get the basics. There's a lot of basic knowledge that we impart through the premium program curriculum. So by the time you actually come to these roundtables and start working with me one-on-one, the level of conversation is far more sophisticated because you're using the curriculum in parallel and you're learning a lot through the curriculum. We have done a really good job of addressing all the issues that we are hearing continuously in our work with entrepreneurs over the last 5-6 years. Even before the 1M1M program started, these roundtables started in the fall of 2008. We have done 216 roundtables, public roundtables, free public roundtables, and probably over 200 private roundtables. We have a very good understanding of what are your issues, and every single issue has a well thought through, well structured curriculum module with video lectures and case studies. So all the issues that we were dealing with in Roy's presentation about who funds what are the requirements of funding, what are investors looking to see, all that is covered in the financing module. Tapesh, you were asking about product strategy, positioning, all the stuff is covered in our curriculum module. So if you use that curriculum, you are going to become so much more sophisticated as an entrepreneur, so that when you come to work with me one-on-one during the premium roundtables, that discussion is going to be so much more productive just because you will have learned the basics. Right now you're asking very basic questions, but we have a way of very rapidly getting you beyond that very basic question level in a very practical, very efficient way. Okay, so I want to introduce you to Irina Patterson, who is your contact point if you want to call somebody to ask questions about the 1M1M program. Irina is wonderful. Irina is very patient and very joyful and very kind, and she will very patiently answer all your questions. Irina, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
All right. Irina's phone number is 786-301-2456. Her email is irina@1m.com, and her Skype ID is irina_Patterson. So, Irina, feel free to add whatever you want to say here.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Excellent. So a lot of people in the room, and some of you people thinking it's 1M1M for me or not, and that is a very good question because 1M1M is not for everybody. Is that right, Sramana?
1M1M is not for everybody, that is correct, and we only work in a certain set of domains, right? We work in the IT and IT-enabled services domain. We do not work outside of the IT and IT-enabled services domain. So if you're doing bio, we don't do bio, right? So there's a whole bunch of domains where we don't, pharma, we don't do pharma. But if you're within IT and IT-enabled services, we pretty much do all the things.
Yes, but go ahead.
So there's a bunch of questions that are coming up. Let me start addressing the questions here. Jolly Jose, do we get your guidance and opportunity to interact with you outside of the private roundtable if you join your program? You get to send emails, and every single curriculum module has discussion areas and Q&A areas. You can ask questions through the curriculum Q&A on specific topics that you're asking input on, and you can also use email. But you do not get to call me by phone. It's a $1,000 annual membership fee. My consulting fee when I was consulting was $5,000 a day. So I don't think this is, we do, if you are desperate for one-on-one time with me, we do have a provision that you can pay for my time, but we don't try to sell you that at all. We try to get you maximum, input and maximum guidance through the base program. We're not trying to sell you extra consulting at all.
Yes, but Sramana, they can come every Wednesday and interact with you and ask any questions, and that is completely.
Absolutely.
That is, yes, and that is need to be used, and it can be used every week.
Yeah. Absolutely, and so far we've had no problem with anybody who has requested time to work with me on one of the private roundtables. We have never had any difficulty accommodating those requests. And part of the reason that is the case is because we have a very powerful curriculum. And a lot of people, the questions that you would be asking me, you think you would be asking me, we have answered a whole lot of those questions in very powerful curriculum modules. So you're going to be spending a lot of time with me, but you're going to be spending a lot of time with me with my video lectures, and you'll be spending a lot of time with other entrepreneurs through the case studies that we have provided. It's like going and sitting down and having a cup of coffee with the CEO of Tableau or a CEO of Right Now. All of these entrepreneurs have built billion-dollar companies. And you would never get this opportunity elsewhere. But we have provided all these very in-depth, comprehensive case studies so that you can really viscerally learn from their experiences. Does that answer everybody's questions? Bab Freiberg is asking, so please don't send me private messages. This is a public chat. Set your chat to send to all participants, and I will answer your questions, but don't send me private messages. Bab Freiberg is asking, is the premium 1M1M program effective for social entrepreneurs? 1M1M is a social entrepreneurship program, but it's a for-profit business. So as long as your business is a for-profit business, it is effective, and you may have a social agenda. If you're trying to run a nonprofit, even though a lot of the principles are effective, as far as nonprofit fundraising is concerned, this is not something that we handle. We don't have, at least at this point, we don't have relationships with foundations and all of that stuff. So that's not something, we operate in the for-profit business mode. However, there are social entrepreneurs who work in the for-profit business mode, in which case it's fine. Tapesh Goyal is asking, how many entrepreneurs typically work in the premium program? We do not disclose numbers. These are metrics that are private metrics. We do not disclose them. Shailendra Tendulkar wants to know about the affiliate program. Our affiliate program is like any other affiliate program. So an affiliate partner of 1M1M gets to sell 1M1M memberships, premium memberships, which are $1,000 annual membership fee, and you get 10% commission, affiliate commission for that. Anybody else? Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a note. What a lot of early stage entrepreneurs need to do, they need to practice telling their story. And by asking questions and practicing telling your story, you can significantly increase your chances of getting new clients, getting partners, getting investment if you have to. So, Sramana, can you tell us how 1M1M can help them to tell their story?
Well, as I said earlier in the session, it's a good point. This is a safe working environment for you. You know, you get to practice, right? You pitch to me, you pitch to your peer group in this room, and you get questions, you get critiques, you get feedback. And it's better that you do that kind of practice in a safe place rather than going in front of customers or going in front of investors where the stakes are much higher. So this is, you know, we are on your side. We are doing exactly what you need in terms of coaching or mentoring or, you know, a tutor, when you were kids, right? When we were all kids, we had tutors giving us practice on something. Or, you know, if you're a musician, you get voice coaches or a piano teacher who's giving you practice. It's more that kind of an environment where you get to practice with somebody who's on your side or with a group of people who are on your side. Even your peers will give you feedback, your questions and so forth, so that you get to find the holes in your thesis, in your strategy, in your pitch, so that by the time you go for the final show, whether it's investor presentations, financing roadshows, customer presentations, you're in a much more robust position where your pitch is much better. Okay,
right,
folks,
and yeah, go ahead, Sramana.
I'm going to have to wrap up today because I have to do a video interview for a media, you know, interview basically. Somebody's interviewing me, so I need to get off and get on another meeting. So I'll, you know, just take one more last question, and then that's going to have to be it for now. Okay, well, we will see you back here next week. So if you want to pitch, you want to participate, ask questions, have a quick chat, please feel free to use all those modes of communication, and let's continue working on your businesses so that collectively we advance all our agendas. Our agenda is to make you successful. Your agenda is to make yourself successful, and hopefully we'll all achieve what we are set out to.
All of us will be successful. The harder we put ourselves to doing this, we will be all successful. But you guys need to do your part.
Okay, folks. Take care. Have a great weekend, and talk to you soon. Bye.